show. Ain't nobody else that can come close. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. We don't just talk, we walk the line. While the others choke, we shine, shine, shine. Turn up the heat, crank up the sound. V-Speed's the force that shakes the ground. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. Let them try, let them fight, they can't compete. V-Speed's the fire, can't stand the heat. We're rolling thunder, we're lightning fast. We're the future, they're stuck in the past. From the first turn to the last lap, V-Speed's the name they can't unwrap. We're the voice, the speed, the southern pride. With V-Speed, you know we ride or die. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. Yeah, you know what to say, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. We're the kings of the broadcast. In V-Speed we trust. One, two, 1, 2, 3, trust. We're the kings of the broadcast, and V-Speed we trust.
One week before turkey time, but racing never takes a break. Here we are in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to race at Myrtle Beach Speedway. My name is Scott Shive, and we are joined by Sky Shrek and our executive producer, DJ Lion, for tonight's live coverage of the Misfit Racing League's Misfit Late Model Touring Series here for race number 4. Man, Sky, I'm extremely excited about this one because Myrtle Beach, we know it, the sad story that it was closed in 2020 after so many years of excellent racing, but luckily it lives on in the sim, and we can still perform excellent races here from the old scans that we still have.
Yeah, I'm so glad it's been preserved on iRacing because it's a really fun track. It's a really unique track, one with a lot of history, and while we can't race on it anymore in real life, we can still race on it in the sim, and it always provides a great show, and we're hoping it'll provide another great show here tonight with the Misfit Racing League.
Yeah, a lot of you that might be tuning in might also be pulled up on your screen the South Carolina 400 as well with Flow Racing, because that is the race that has commemorated the Myrtle Beach 400, which used to be run here back in the day before the Speedway was closed. We'll take a look at our Google Earth. Located in South Carolina is Myrtle Beach, near the beach, obviously, and this is the 4-turn oval, 13 degrees within the corners, 4 on the front straightaway, 3 in the back, and it's such an awesome racetrack and why it presented such great racing, Sky. One of the things that I think is one of the most interesting is some of the curbs. They've got some interesting little bubble curbs down in 1 and 2, and also the straightaway. It's not exactly straight, and you don't see often many short tracks with a kind of D oval that Myrtle Beach provides, and this place just provides some excellent racing, and I'm really excited for what we're going to have here tonight. Go through our schedule, Sky.
Yeah, we're racing tonight at Myrtle Beach after coming off last week's race at Five Flags. Coming up, we've got Irwindale on the schedule along with New Hampshire, a bit of a longer track there. One of the longest tracks on the schedule. We usually run there in modifieds, but we're taking some touring late models there. Should be a lot of fun for that race in a couple weeks.
It's going to be really good when we go to all these tracks up next here for the Misfit Touring Series Season 2. We're also going to talk about our points, because last week we had new winner 33 of Justin Brooks was able to bring it to victory lane at Five Flags. Obviously, Kyle Turzak, 2 wins on the season out of 3 races, sits atop the standings. Justin Crow has had some great finishes so far. He sits second, tied with third place Evan Hassler. Tyler Muller sits in there just 12 points back from that third place position, and Jake Sylvia, first podium of the season last week, sits there just 2 points behind Muller. So it's a great fight here between these top 5, top 6 drivers, and those are the guys that have really dominated here so far in these first 3 races, and I'm really excited to see these guys continue to battle it out. We got guys back there in 11th, Alex Grates, Deegan Smith in 13th, 15th, Dylan Calabro, guys that we all know can absolutely get it done, and so they're gonna keep trying to move up within these point standings, because again, we'll go all 19 races this year to determine our champion based off of all long-term season points. So we're going to do that, and it's going to be great. We've just had a few drivers qualify, and so we're going to have our first heat race of the night. A few guys like Jake Sylvia, Kyle Turzak, and others were able to qualify on speed. But Justin Crow, who's going to start first in this heat race, will not have made it through those first 5. And he'll be followed by Jake Grout in the 49 car there for this second heat as they grid up on the day. Then Christian Peterson in that 171 will line up 3rd. John Leday in the 22 will line up 4th. The 12 of Matt Mingo will line up 5th. And the last car in this heat will be the 89 of Bradley Stefane. Bradley Stefane's guy had a little moment back at Nashville Fairgrounds, but he's back this week.
Yeah, returning this week along with a couple other drivers. I believe I also saw Cody Dempster, another guy making his way back from some suspension this week. Only 6 cars in this first heat race, and they'll all advance through to the feature. Only about 16 cars going to be on the grid for tonight, so there's not going to be anyone in danger of missing the cut this time around.
You know, you put it greatly there. None of these guys are fighting to make it into this race. We have enough drivers to fill the feature completely. These heat races have to be run to determine the rest of qualifying. What might mean the mindset of some of these other drivers here, that they know that they don't have to qualify on speed. They just have to go out and race. What might they use this time for besides gaining positions on the grid?
Yeah, well, this is really, I think for some of these cars, going to be just a little bit of a test session. Make sure you've got your setup down, make sure you're ready for the race. You know what line you're going to run. Maybe learn how to race against some of these other cars out here like Grout and Peterson. We're going to try to maybe make some moves on you. I think it's just going to be a little bit of an extended practice session for everybody out here to get a little more used to this track and their cars.
Yeah, obviously 10 laps here in the heat race. Justin Crowe will start up front. Jake Grout on his outside. Grout, we know, like you mentioned, can be kind of an aggressive driver sometimes in certain situations. So Crowe going to be able to get some more practice here with him. We got 5 cars gridded up. Stefan not in the field right now, but we're green here in the first heat at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Rounding through turn 1, the engines of those late model V8s absolutely roar down the back straightaway here into 3. They're already single filed out. Justin Crowe holds the lead. Jake Grout right behind, all where they started. Christian Peterson, John Leday, and Matt Mingo. Now looking along with the hood of Jake Grout, trying to make a move here, carry speed on exit out of 2 to bring the fight to Justin Crowe.
Yeah, you said Grout's pretty aggressive. A little bit of a hard dive there for the driver from Vermont. All over the back bumper at Justin Crowe. It remains to be seen if he's going to try to make this move or not, or if he'll sit back here through second. But with this inside lane being so dominant at this track, he might have to move Crowe if he wants to make the move for the lead.
Yeah, and that might be the only thing he has to do, and I don't know if you'd want to do that at this point in the race. Man, absolutely gassing it out of turn 4, trying to carry all the exit speed he can. You can see these late models almost sideways through the corners. They're so long and able to wrap them. You're able to carry so much speed through these long corners. Again, 13 degrees of banking. It doesn't look like much. These corners can almost seem flat when you're down on that apron because of how slick it can be.
Yeah, and we've seen really at every track we've raced to this year, these drivers like these setups loose. They like to be almost spinning off the corner. We've seen a lot of cars get way loose at pretty much every turn on the schedule this year. This is no exception here. These drivers push it all the way to the limit out of these corners, like you see Jake Grout doing back there in second.
Yeah, you can see it giving him everything he has back there. Then we're looking along with the 171 here, right behind Jake Grout. He's been gaining a little bit of ground here over these past few laps. Coming to 5 to go here at the line, coming to 4 to go, excuse me. And Christian Peterson trying to get a little bit of an edge on the 49 car. Meanwhile, Justin Crowe has got a half a second lead over the 49 car.
Yeah, while these spots aren't for the cut line, these are still important because one extra spot is an extra row you start on the grid. 2 races can make a lot of difference in the main event. You're going to see Christian Peterson go for it here, puts the dive up the inside of Jake Grout, runs him high, and Peterson's going to take second. I don't think Grout fought him too hard right there.
No, he's going to bring the crossover here into 3 and 4. Not going to have great momentum here. Can he keep it side by side at a turn 4? Oh my gosh, just barely doesn't have it. He's going to send it here into turn 1 to try to get back into second place. Peterson, Grout, side by side exiting 2. Meanwhile, Crowe is absolutely stomping away here. Grout still back on the inside. Oh, lose the bottom. Trying to almost make contact there. Almost a bit of net code here. Coming to 1 to go here at the line.
Yeah, they almost touched through that corner, but Peterson was finally able to prevail. Grout just got a little loose out of that corner, and he's in the fence down the back straightaway, and that should allow Peterson to get the spot as Grout is all over the place back there. Justin Crowe will come around to win the first heat race.
Yeah, Justin Crowe takes the win there in the 86 car. Christian Peterson able to get around Grout and hold there for second. So that was a great fight by him. Grout just didn't have enough once they got around. So I'll leave Justin Crowe with the win, and we're going to grid up for our second heat here. We're going to have 5 drivers in it, but I love the racing here, Sky. We talked about it earlier and how exciting it can be. Jace Hale going to be on the pole in the number 9 car, followed by Kyle Adams in the 24. Jared Shell in the 34 car will line up third, and his outside will be the 11 of Ty Dennis, and then the 5th car and final car will be the 79 of Anthony Yankello. So we just saw some aggressive driving there, but we saw that it was more difficult to pass. I think that's one of the characteristics of this racetrack. Once you lose that momentum, it's so hard to get it back on a guy. You saw it was also, Jake Grout was able to throw it on the inside and hold there. Peterson really wasn't able to wrap the outside, but meanwhile as well, Grout couldn't pass him easily on the bottom. So how do drivers go about that, not only in heat races like this, but when we get to the feature?
Yeah, I'm more interested in that in the feature, especially when the tires start to wear and it becomes more of an issue of trying to, inside versus outside, you maybe burn up your tires a little bit more running the outside like Peterson was there trying to defend. So it remains to be seen if defending on the outside like that is going to work in the feature, or if Peterson was just able to make it work here because he didn't have to worry too hard about his tire life at all.
It's something that we'll have to continue to watch as we progress here through the night. Again, these drivers all secured here for the feature, just battling it out for what position they will start in. Again, first position will line up there in 6th before we have our invert, and that will all be decided here. Jace Hale, again, in the number 9 car right there on the inside. Kyle Adams in the 24 on his outside. Green flag is out. We're here for Heat 2, racing into Turn 1.
Yeah, Jace Hale's not a driver we've seen a lot of this season, especially at the front of the field, but he jumps out to an early lead in this heat as Kyle Adams is almost in the fence behind him. Shell is running all the way around the bottom for 3rd and then exiting a little higher than some of these other cars, pushing it up to that wall to get some space out of the corner, and he's loose down the straightaway. Yankello's going to have a run up the inside.
Yeah, Yankello there saw that absolutely wide line that Jared Shell took. He took advantage of that there into Turn 1, dived down the inside. Shell still trying to find speed on the top, but he won't be able to find it. Yankello through on the bottom into 3rd position. Meanwhile, there's still single file up front. Jared Shell trying to give something back, but nothing doing. Jace Hale still leading, but Kyle Adams lurking in the back. Great momentum off the back. There was a little bit of contact there, I think, Sky.
Yeah, he definitely broke a lot late into that corner, got really loose on him there as he slammed on the brakes into 3, and that almost sent him around, but he got it gathered back up. He's still pursuing Jace Hale, and I think he might be a little faster. He'll try it up the inside here. Big send for Kyle Adams into the side of the 9 car, and he's able to get it off the corner for now, but he's not yet clear. We're going to go side by side again down into Turn 1, and Adams should get the spot.
Man, Jace Hale won't be too happy about that one, about how he was raced there by the 24 car. I mean, absolutely threw it into Turn 1, wasn't able to make the corner, and noses Hale right out of the way. So Hale will try to get back to his bumper now. Oh, Adams goes way high. He's up in the wall in Turn 1. Hale's through. Yankello might have a position here for 2nd. I think that was race control telling the 24 to give the position back.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see how this shakes out now because Adams is still faster than Hale. He was starting to pull away before he got up into that fence. Would not surprise me if he makes another send up the inside here. Maybe tries to move the 9 out of the way once more as we head to 4 to go.
Yeah, you said it. You can see that the 24 is faster. Will be able to pass him cleanly. Man, he's just able to carry so much speed through the center. I mean, he's almost to the outside here. Will he make a dive for the bottom? No, he'll hold it. Try to take a wider line. Oh my gosh, he's having to break up for contact there. The 24 car here of Kyle Adams is absolutely hounding the bumper of Jace Hale. He sends it back to the inside 3 and 4. There's contact again. He straightens up Hale. They keep it together. Oh, Hale turning around in the back. He's sideways. Caution's out.
Oh, and Yankello's around through the grass too. More contact with Kyle Adams. Yankello's in the inside wall. Ty Dennis is wrecked at the back. We might have 2 cars left in this heat race.
Oh my gosh. We'll talk about the first one was pretty calm in comparison. Let's see where this all started here for our drivertees.com replay. You're looking at Anthony Yankello. You can see up there in the front, Kyle Adams makes contact with the inside wall, bounces into the outside of Jace Hale. Jace Hale trying to keep speed off turn 4, just not able to hold it. Slams into Ty Dennis, and then Yankello was battling for a second there for the lead with Kyle Adams when the caution came out, and slams into the inside wall hard.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there between Adams and Yankello, but I think for this battle for the lead, Hale just didn't quite give Adams enough space. He sent the nose in there, and Hale just sent it all the way down like there wasn't a car to his inside, and that's kind of how that shook out between the 9 and the 24.
Yeah, you could see right there that Yankello was just, he knew the caution might come out, but he was just battling for the inside line, and Kyle Adams might have had a little bit of a check down there. Kyle Adams, I think he's been sent to the rear of this field I think he caused the caution. So 24 did claim the caution we're hearing from race control, so he will get that EOL and start in the back. But wow, what a roll of events there. Did not expect that one to happen, but I think you said it the best, Sky, that Hale just didn't quite give Kyle Adams enough room there into turn 3. He bounced off the wall. You even saw that Adams tried to straighten him out.
Yeah, he almost straightened him out, but he just came back across the track, made contact with Ty Dennis in that 11. And yeah, both cars and even Yankello up front wrecking too. Yankello's off the track. The other two are staying out. This might be good for Jared Schell because I think he's the only car that was not involved in that accident. Got a clean race car, no damage on it. Might be able to make something happen here.
Yeah, gonna be hard for him starting from the outside, but he'll have to see what he can make do with it. Jace Hale probably happy about that caution there. It puts him back up at the front. Ty Dennis, you saw him and Hale made extreme contact. Dennis probably has some significant damage, and Anthony Yankello is 4 laps down out of this heat race. He will be starting in the back when we get to the feature. Well, Jace Hale on the inside, 3 cars lined up behind him. That's because Kyle Adams there had to choose the inside, being a lap down. We're green flag here. 2 laps to go at the line. Jace Hale, Jared Schell, side by side into 1. Hale prevails here throughout a turn 2.
A lot of damage for that 11. He didn't get going at all. That slows Adams with him. Schell immediately puts bumper to the rear of Jace Hale, but he can't quite get it done. He's going to have 2 more chances. He'll try it down into turn 1, but he'll have to back out. 1 more chance down into turn 3 for Jared Schell.
Man, carried some great speed there. Schell did. He won't. Hale defends the inside here. Schell tries to give him the bumper. He won't. Adams moves into third around Ty Dennis. Hale moving up front. Jared Schell right behind him. Hale will take the win across the line. Man, I really thought Adams might have had something there for Jared Schell.
Yeah, he tried it up the inside, but he just didn't have enough of a run to get it done. Maybe that damage kind of holding him back a little. You saw some damage on his left side, probably slowing him down a little bit towards the end of that race.
Yeah, that was... I love that. We're going to send it trackside here for the national anthem. Well, we saw back from our 2 heat races, and now we're on to the feature. So, 16 drivers in our field tonight, and it's looking like we have, it looks like a 5-car invert. So Kyle Turzak did get the pole, but he'll be back in 5th. That leaves Jake Sylvia on the pole here tonight. Again, finished 3rd last week at 5 flags, looking to have a good run today. The 15 of Deegan Smith up here, starting 2nd on the outside. The 024 of Cody Dempster is back here after his suspension here in race number 4 in 3rd place. 4th place will be the 74 of Michael Weissman, and again, 115 of Kyle Turzak will be starting there in 5th, fastest in qualifying. Justin Crow, winner of heat number 1, be there in the 86th. 6th, 7th will be the 9 of Jace Hale, who won our 2nd heat race. Then Christian Peterson, Jared Schell, and Jake Grout round out your top 10.
And rounding out your field tonight, Kyle Adams is going to be in the 11th position in the number 24. John Lidday starting 12th in the 22. Ty Dennis rolling off 13th in the number 11 with Matt Mingo 12th. Or 14th in the 12 car, and last 2 spots on the field tonight, Anthony Yankello 15th in the 79, and Bradley Stefane 16th in the 89, back there in row 8.
Well, here we are for this feature race. It's going to be 100 laps here tonight, and again, I think this is kind of a an annual, what is it, kind of the sim style of what would be the Myrtle Beach 400, because again, that time of year, this time of year, would have been this race in the real life, and so that's why they have now the South Carolina 400 at Florence Motor Speedway, which I think is going on right now, Scott.
Yeah,
I think they go green at 8.
Should be. Dale Jr.'s in that race. He coming back in that Budweiser.
Did he make it out of qualifying?
I have not checked yet. I hope he did.
I hope he did too. I'm going to watch the race at some point. If I wasn't going to watch it later, ladies and gentlemen, I would give you some live stats on that one throughout the night, but I kind of don't want to spoil it for myself. So I hope that Dale made the race. I watched the Dale Jr. download earlier this week, and I saw that by early this Tuesday, there had 56 cars had entered. Now, Sky, only 36 could make the race, so that means that at that point, only like 20 cars would be out of the race. So I definitely do hope that Dale qualified.
I believe in him. I mean, he's Dale Earnhardt. He's gotta.
Well, we'll talk about that one some point throughout this race because, again, we're here for the virtual Myrtle Beach 400, but it'll only be 100 laps here for the Misfit Touring Series. Jace Hale looking along with him. It is going to be a 7-car invert, so they have moved some of these drivers up and around. So Jace Hale and Justin Crowe will be up there on the front row instead of Jake Sylvia and Michael Weissman. So it was a 7-car invert. That's why you're seeing Hale and Crowe up front.
Yeah, so it's the 2 heat winners who are going to make it up to the front of the field. We've done varying levels of inverts in this series, some 10, some 11. Only 7 is going to give these fast qualifiers, guys like Jake Sylvia and Deegan Smith, a better shot to fight through the field here and try to get up to the front. Instead of having to pass about 11 or 12 cars, they've only got to pass about 6.
Yeah, that invert, it derives from a long-time tradition in late model stock racing. Back at the short track level, they would do this to, try to create some good racing, and I think it always has, and that's why the invert has really always stayed. So, Sky, what do you think? What are you expecting here tonight from these 100 laps out of these drivers?
I think we're going to see some of the drivers who have prevailed in this series go forward again. Kyle Terzak, I think, is definitely going to be up at the front. We've seen a lot of speed out of Justin Crowe this year. I think he's going to have a shot there starting from the front row. Bunch of cars out here who have made impacts on the races this season and are starting up front here today to try to have a good run and try to get their first win of the season, or in Terzak's case, his 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, Justin Brooks not in the field tonight, so Kyle Terzak, only driver here with a win this season. Sylvia has been extremely hungry, not been performing as well as he has wanted. Kyle Adams also hungry. Deegan Smith, the winner from last year, hungry as well. Drivers all 2 by 2. Green flag here for the 100-lap feature race at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Jace Hale is going to lead him out of turn 2, but Crowe has a good run on the outside. Made really good time off the top there in 1 and 2, and he's going to be able to pull down in front of Jace Hale for the lead. Now it's Deegan Smith on the outside of that 9 car in 2nd, trying to do the same thing Crowe did. He might get around him too. That top line is working early. Hale back to 3rd.
Yeah, Hale just wasn't able to get the best jump there. Crowe and Smith were able to capitalize on that mistake. Then behind them, it's Michael Weissman, Jake Sylvia, Cody Dempster, and Kyle Terzak, all now single filed out. Kyle Terzak is in a battle. Jake Sylvia on his outside, Kyle Adams trying to go around the outside. So wow, that outside line is really working here, Sky, in this feature at the very start.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of speed out of Sylvia this year, and he's making contact with Terzak, trying to get that spot in the top 5 on the outside there. Still working. Terzak's doing a really good job of fighting back on the inside, though, and he might have something for Weissman up in front of him if he can get free of that 1 car.
Yeah, you want to make this pass quick. Terzak almost clear, not quite. He's going to make it clear here, but he's going to immediately go for the move on Weissman. So it looked like the top had a little bit of speed there for the first 4 laps, but now it looks like the bottom is becoming dominant yet again. So Terzak down to the bottom here. Sylvia follows into line. Then Christian Peterson, Kyle Adams are side by side. But again, Terzak now on the inside of Weissman.
And you can see those top 2 have absolutely checked out. Crowe and Smith opening up 7/10 back to Jace Hale in 3rd. Maybe Hale is saving his stuff. Maybe Crowe and Deegan Smith are trying to push it here in the early stages of the race. Whatever it is, they've opened up a huge gap and they're way clear at the front as the battle keeps going behind him. Terzak's fighting for 4th, and if he can get up to Hale, he wants to go for 3rd. Weissman in the fence.
Man, Weissman was absolutely sideways there out of turn 2, able to save it. He does lose the position to Terzak. That advances Terzak up into 4th place. Now he'll go on the hunt to Jace Hale. Looking along here from the back of Michael Weissman, that's Jake Sylvia and Christian Peterson still side by side. They've been side by side for almost 4 laps now. It's 2 by 2 by 2 directly behind them. Sylvia trying to prevail on that outside, but again, I think that line is going away.
Yeah, while the leaders have been getting away, the battles just keep raging in the mid-pack. Terzak's finally clear of everybody. He's past Jace Hale. He's up to third. Hale's going to go even further back because Wiseman's got around him. Peterson's up the inside. Jake Grout's looking up the inside. Jace Hale just does not have it right now. He's falling back to 6th, and if Grout can make this move stick, and if even Dempster behind can make this move stick, he might go all the way back to 8th or 9th before he can fit into this line, and he will.
Yeah, Sylvia had a huge mistake there, got stuck on the outside. He's now back all the way to 11th, so down 10 positions, or excuse me, 9 positions from the start of this race. I think for the first time tonight, we are completely single filed out. And this is that time that we talked about earlier, Sky, where passing might become more difficult. It's time for drivers to settle in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make a pass, we've seen that the inside is the most dominant line. You either need to find a way to get yourself a really good run out of the corner, down the straightaway, so you can make a dive up the inside into turn 1 or turn 3, or you just need to get that bumper out, start trying to move people out of the way to force yourself to the inside to make the pass.
Yeah, Justin Crowe, Deegan Smith, 1.1 second gap on the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Michael Weissman into the wall yet again. He's been passed by Christian Peterson, and now Jake Grout in that 49 car going down to the inside will try to make the pass. Weissman trying to throw the crossover here, but he's still strong on the outside, not giving it up yet.
Crowe's been pretty steady, but we've seen Deegan Smith kind of scraping the wall a couple times. Saw him in the outside wall down the straightaway. I think he might have just clipped the inside wall with how low he was running in 3 and 4. Using every available inch of this racetrack and then some to try to make time on Justin Crowe. Dempster's going to put a send on Jake Grout.
Yeah, Dempster now in that 24 car on the inside of the 49. Them two here battling for position. Jake Grout up 4 from the start. Meanwhile, Dempster is down 2 in that red, blue, and yellow 24. Still battling side by side as they complete lap number 15 into lap 16.
Yeah, you mentioned that that tri-oval there. It's been like a shorter version of Richmond here with these cars. These drivers have to angle it weird. It's not like any other short track really on iRacing with how you have to take that front straightaway. It can lead to some contact like you have right there between Dempster and Grout. They're going to stay side by side back down into turn 1. Neither car able to get clear, but Grout is giving it all to try to hold this position.
Yeah, scrapes the wall there on the back straightaway. He loses some time there into the entry of turn 3, but wow, gets a great drive through the center of the corner. Still holds it on that outside, but again, Dempster is working slowly by slowly on the inside line. Contact yet again with a little bit of net code. Meanwhile, Michael Weissman now on the inside trying to follow Dempster through. He will. Grout falls down into 7th now.
You could see when Grout was coming off that corner how much his hands were working the wheel kind of through the cockpit there to try to keep that car straight. He's giving it everything he has off the corner every time, and you're seeing that. Chase Hales might drop back another spot because Bradley Stefane has gone from last to 8th in the early part of this race.
Yeah, Bradley Stefane, we saw him didn't race in his heat race, so started absolutely from the back, but he is now up to 8th, so worked halfway through this field with that RKM Setup Shop 89 car, and he is absolutely flying out there. Jace Hale, meanwhile, doing the opposite of flying. He is falling.
He's going to get a little bit of a break there because Kyle Adams caught the inside wall through turn 4, but he's still on him. Like, Jace Hale hasn't gotten away at all. In fact, even after hitting the inside wall, Adams will get clear, and now Jake Sylvia will get clear, and Jace Hale was already back to 11th after starting on the pole. It's only been 20 laps. That car is struggling so bad right now.
Yeah, he's just not been able to find the lap time here in this feature race. We saw him strong in the heat race, but just might not have that long run speed. Again, Sylvia, another car that had trouble here at the start, currently sitting in 10th position trying to work around Kyle Adams. We're going to keep here looking for this battle, but again, I just want to make a mention of it. Cal Turzak has been closing down on the leaders of Deegan Smith and Justin Crowe, so we're going to get there in a moment because that battle will happen at some point, but Jake Sylvia still looking here at Kyle Adams.
Yeah, Turzak has really closed up to that top two. Christian Peterson's managed to stay about equal to those cars, but everyone from Dempster on back is losing a lot of time to those leaders. Kind of in some packs right here. The battle for 6th is still raging. This battle for 9th is still raging. Between about 5 different cars. Really loose on the inside for Jake Sylvia, but somehow that works, and he's able to take the spot. Chase Hale's going to try to push for the first time all night.
Yeah, Sylvia made some... Oh, 22 around of John Leday. He's slow, but he's still rolling. The green will stay out, not going to cause a caution, but Leday around there in turn 1. We're going to get a V-Speed replay with our DriverTees.com replay. Thank you to DriverTees.com for presenting us with these replay shots. Looking here at the 22 of John Leday on the inside of Ty Dennis. Meanwhile, we watch this, there is caution out on the speedway. John Leday on the inside of Ty Dennis. Yeah, just sends it in a little too rough.
Yeah, just got a little too high into there, made contact with the side of Ty Dennis. We had a caution out on the racetrack. Not entirely sure for what, but we'll try to figure that out for you.
Well, I'm gonna believe it's the 34 car of Jared Shell. He's 1 lap down and has some damage on the left rear. It might have been Jake Grout. We're gonna continue looking here. We were in a replay of our other one.
Yeah, Jake Grout's being scored in 14th right now, so this might be it. He's battling with Michael Wiseman up here. We're gonna head down to the corner. We'll see how this happened.
Yeah, we're just gonna look along here because viewers, well, we don't know what happened as much as you did. Grout behind Weissman here into turn 1. Still down there. Oh, Jake Grout just gets on those binders, sends it around, stopped in the track. Oh yeah, I'm interested that brought out the caution.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that those kind of turtles down there that they use as a curb are really rough. You can spin it on them, and that's exactly what Jake Grout did right there. Kind of spun onto that weird access road down there, so he was off the track, but it still brought out the caution.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it did bring out the caution there. Because he was kind of off the track there for a moment, but you know, he did spin, wasn't able to get off the track, at least immediately. So, we talked about it, the dangers of those binders in turn 1 and 2. No drivers have really faced it yet because, again, I kind of imagine them. I remember I had always had trouble with that when I raced here because as a driver at a track like this at Myrtle Beach, the bottom line is dominant. We saw early that the top line was viable for maybe a few laps, but the bottom was still always the dominant line. And so when you get to that bottom, you want to take it all the way as close as you can. When turn 3 and 4, there's a wall. You can't go any lower than the wall. But when you have something like those binders and then a lane inside of it, sometimes you're like, maybe I could put the left sides in there and make it work, and you really can't. So that's a little bit of what Jake Grout was thinking there.
Yeah, and while Jake Grout was doing that, we kind of have some strategy being played for some cars further back. Some cars taking tires on that pit stop. Michael Wiseman, Jake Sylvia, both coming down pit road there. They've put new tires on the car. Anthony Yankello as well. So those 3 cars are all using their 1 extra set of tires right now on lap 30, and they'll be able to keep it out for the rest of the race. Maybe that strategy call will work out for him if we stay green.
Yeah, not a bad call. I mean, Bradley Stefan, we saw him work through the field there. I mean, he was up in 8th. So personally, if I was in 8th, I might not have pitted. But he chooses to pit. We know he's got a fast car. John Leday obviously involved in an incident just before that didn't bring out our caution. He pits there. Anthony Yankello as well. I've also got Kyle Adams in his pit box only for 4.5 seconds. So I'm not sure if he would have been able to take 2 tires in that time. I don't think so. But we're going to line him up yet again. Justin Crowe again led off the start. Deegan to his outside. Justin Crowe is going to get a great start here as we got green flag into turn 1. Turzak trying to move up into 2nd on the inside of Smith.
Yeah, Crowe had a really good jump and he got away. Same thing happening here, but we saw over the long run how quick Turzak was. He made a lot of time over the course of that 25-lap run before the caution came out. I think Crowe might be a little faster in the short term, but in the long term, we get a long green flag run. Turzak's going to get there.
Yeah, Terzak looking for win number 3 out of 4 races. This is Christian Peterson on the inside of Cody Dempster, battling there for 4th position. Again, I think our top 5 are some of the strongest of the night. Only people not up here in this top 5 that might be able to fight for this is Bradley Stefane and Jake Sylvia. Those guys, again, very strong. Weissman also fast. So we're just going to have to see. But these top 5 absolutely have the speed. Christian Peterson now works to the inside. Cody Dempster tries to throw the crossover. Won't have enough speed, but he sends it into turn 1.
Yeah, he used that tri-oval to give himself a little bit of a cutback. Went straight down to the inside out of 4 and was able to use it to get a send up the inside on that 24 car of Dempster, on that 171 of Peterson, and that's going to give him the chance to get this 4th spot. Not clear yet, but he's trying to get there.
Yeah, now Peterson sends it up high. Try to get the crossover there, but won't have it done. Here we're looking at the battle for the lead. This is looking from the rear of Justin Crow, and that's the 115 of Kyle Terzak in that Firebird right there. Love that decal there, the Pontiac Firebird. You know, my dad used to drive a Firebird, so I've always rooted for that car just a little bit. In terms of the Pontiac, so Kyle Terzak looking to make it here to the lead, but I think he's got a lot of time, Sky.
Yeah, a bit of an old school manufacturer there. Terzak is going to keep trying at it. Deegan Smith has not gone away. He's sitting pretty steady, about 4/10 back. Doesn't quite have the speed to challenge Terzak, but he can't lose any time either. And Peterson has now gotten back to the inside of Dempster. This battle still raging on for 4th.
Yeah, top 3 single file, but Cody Dempster and Christian Peterson will absolutely not get away from each other. Back and forth to the inside to the outside for both of them here to complete lap 39, starting lap 40. These drivers just absolutely giving it everything, and we've still got just over 60 to go. And what does that look like for these tires? All these guys, the only guys that have pitted, the top 6 have not pitted. Weissman went to the pits. I think he got 2 tires. But all these guys out here on old tires, you think they're saving right now?
They might be. It might just be waiting for another caution here to where he can take it. These guys up here like Weissman and Sylvia may be betting there won't be one. There it is. There's your caution. 89 is Stefane, Jake Grout, Matt Mingo. Oh my goodness, John Leday. About 5 cars caught up in that one.
Oh man, John Leday makes some late contact there with Bradley Stefane. Matt Mingo also involved. We're going to take a look at what happened. That's Jake Sylvia right behind him. Stefane, Matt Mingo. Looks like Stefane gets a little high and Mingo causes the incident. Ty Dennis nowhere to go. Gets into the rear, Matt Mingo. Oh my goodness. Jake Grout just lifted up there, almost like a jack.
Yeah, got put in the air there and then came down and made contact with John Leday. Thanks to drivertees.com for that replay. That was Stefane getting some big nose damage with contact to the 22. Arrives on the scene really late, was slow to get in here and just... straight into the side of him. Jake Grout gets some contact there too.
That's going to be some definite right front damage for the 89 car. And it was driving fast, but with that damage, I don't know anymore. Matt Mingo was given the EOL for causing that incident, getting into Bradley Stefane. John Leday, Stefane, Mingo, all pit. Grout stays out. Peterson had just come to pit road. He's right there in the back. But yeah, it looks like Grout didn't get much damage from that, just slowed up. Jared Schell had slowed up for that as well. But I think Stefane here will have the most damage.
Yeah, the first car to stay out who's already pit is going to be Jake Sylvia, who's running 6th. Anthony Yankello has also come down. He's in 8th. Some of the cars we saw down, like Michael Weissman, makes another stop. Kyle Adams does as well. And the caution has been claimed there by Matt Mingo, so he will go to the back.
Yeah, he'll go to the back. But Justin Crow having some great speed. He's second in our point standings, and he's been having very solid finishes here for these first 3 races, and that's one of the things that has put him up here in the, top half of the points, up in second right behind Kyle Terzak. And he's going to have to fight off Kyle Terzak today if he's going to want to have an idea, a hint at this win, because Terzak, as we know, is extremely strong and obviously has that pace, but Crow has been able to hold him off so far.
He's been doing a really good job of it, but I really want to see that battle on a longer run. I think if we get about 20, 30 laps into this run, this battle between Crow and Terzak is going to be really good because Terzak is such a good long run car. We can get some green flag laps on this race. I think it'll only get better and better.
Yeah, earlier we saw through that first green flag lap portion, we saw that Terzak, he had started fifth in this, he had started seventh by that point after the real invert. So he spent all that time working through the field, trying to get to the back of the leaders after they had gotten such a huge lead in the first portion of that race. But now we've got them lined up side by side yet again, trying to go for a long run here because, again, we think Terzak in that 115 has the long run speed, but Crow is not giving up here. And they have been fighting it out, and there's been great racing to watch in this field. Crow starting for a restart yet again. He got a good one last jump on the last one. He'll get a great one here yet again. Now to the inside here to turn one. Terzak follows in line.
Deegan Smith is under threat from Cody Dempster. He got a really good restart, and he's fighting that 15 car on the outside. We saw he was able to hold that position when battling with Peterson. And oh, contact! 15 into the inside wall. He's around in front of the field. Caution's out.
Oh my gosh, I think Jake Sylvia just about almost peed his pants. We've got, at some point, we have got to take a drivertees.com replay from the helmet of Jake Sylvia, because I watched that, and I mean, he had to be scared for his life right there in his race car. Looking back here, what happened, this is the 15 of Deegan Smith on the inside of Cody Dempster fighting for third. Cody gets a great run there down in the center, and it looks like Sylvia got a bit of a, or excuse me, not Sylvia, Smith got a bump there on the inside wall.
Yeah, we had a couple cars with near misses. Jake Hale barely made it out of that as well. There's a couple cars who were very, very close to getting some contact there that just managed to escape.
Well, looking back here at the full lap replay, this is the hood cam of the inside of Deegan Smith in that 15 car. And again, just goes the inside here, gets a little squirrely. Yeah, just gets that grass and it unsettles his car. And I don't think he made contact with the inside wall there, but just spun around.
Yeah, luckily more cars weren't involved in that. I mean, we almost saw about
this is Jake Sylvia.
Cars get caught up in that. Here you go, Jake Sylvia.
Look at that.
Oh my
on the brake.
goodness.
That's what I was looking at.
Whoa.
I cannot believe that he did not make contact with Smith there.
That was scary.
Yeah, I mean, he only lost one position to Ty Dennis, but I think when the caution came out, I think he'll net out fine. Kyle Terzak has now come into the pits. Other drivers as well. Kyle Adams has been in the pits. But I think Yankello and Terzak were the two to come in here. And that's going to change up the front of this field just a little bit. Justin Crow's still out front. But this moves Sylvia up into third, Jake Grout to fourth, and Jace Hale. We saw him fall back earlier. He's back to fifth now.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed, and when we come back, we'll be here for the restart of the Misfit Racing League.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Coming back to you, they race into turn one here to complete lap 51 into lap 52. Justin Crow been out front for almost all of this race except for one lap. Jake Sylvia right behind him here in second. Then that's Cody Dempster in the 024, followed by Jake Grout and Christian Peterson.
Yeah, Crow's still leading this race. Grout is way up the road there. That's going to let Peterson get the spot to fourth. Grout's got some damage there on that right front from that accident. That might be hurting his drive off the corner.
Interested to see here, a single filed out here for the first 7 positions. Then Kyle Adams and Matt Mingo there are battling again. You can see that damage there on the 49 car from an incident earlier. Kyle Adams prevails on the inside of Matt Mingo, and I'm interested here to see, Sky, how will Kyle Turzak work his way through the field? Just pitted on this pass caution. He's sitting now in 10th.
Yeah, the only cars it looks like who haven't pit yet are going to be Justin Crowe in the lead, Dempster in 3rd, Grout in 5th, and Jace Hale in 7th. Everyone else has come down pit road. That includes Jake Sylvia in 2nd, who's got 28 lap faster tires than your leader.
Yeah, it looks like tires just really aren't such a big deal here. We got Cody Dempster on the same tire strategy as Justin Crowe, them being have yet to pit. And he's now on the inside of Jake Sylvia, who pitted 27 laps ago, so should have almost double the amount of fresh tires as Dempster, yet Dempster's still able to work to the inside.
Yeah, the real disadvantage is going to be if you do come down now, you're going to go all the way to the back behind the cars who have taken tires. So if Crowe needs to make a move down pit road, he's going to go outside of the top 10 doing it, and that's going to be where the real problem is. But Sylvia, or my bad, Peterson back there on the inside, little bit into the wall out of 4.
Peterson has had some great speed here tonight. We saw him also have great speed at Nashville Fairgrounds. I think he is one guy to watch this season as going to get a win. I think I've seen what I need to see out of him in the past 3 races and out of today. That I think he is going to be a driver that will fight for a win here in this season 2 of the Misfit Touring Series. Working to the inside of Jake Sylvia here in the number 1 car on lap 59. Down the back straightaway they go.
Yeah, a couple cars have showed a lot of pace here. Dempster, too, I think has got a chance to get a win. There's a bunch of cars here with a lot of pace, and I think this is one of those series where any given week we can see about 5 or 6 cars in the field go out and get one. That includes Jake Sylvia right now in 4th.
Yeah, a reminder that Dempster in our first race of the season at Stafford finished 2nd to Kyle Turzak. Then he had, I believe an incident was at Nashville Fairgrounds that suspended him for a race, and now he's back this week. Back in the field here, this is Kyle Adams on the inside there, and then this is Deegan Smith in the 15 car on the inside of the 89 of Bradley Stefane, whose car I don't think is handling too well anymore.
No, we saw him move up to 8th from last early, but since then he's kind of been stuck outside the top 10. 12th right now, and now under threat from John Leday, who's made 4 pit stops in this race for 13th.
Yeah, 4 pit stops is definitely not what you want to see here in a late model race. Tells you got something wrong, but hey, for having 4 pit stops, he's not in the back, so I think that's a win, at least for now. Matt Mingo on the inside of Jace Hale here. Hale now falling through the field again. This is the battle for 9th position. That'll allow the 15 car to ride up the inside. It's just so hard when you get stuck on that outside and you got cars nose to tail able to take it from you on the inside, Sky.
Yeah, and Hale really hasn't shown the pace that he was able to show earlier this season, or earlier this session in the heat race. He was up front in the heat race, won his heat, got inverted to the pole of this race, and since then hasn't been able to get it done. Bradley Stefane gets really, really loose off the corner back there. That's going to give John Leday the spot.
Yeah, you saw John Leday get a little loose there out of the corner. Meanwhile, the 15 car still working to the inside of Matt Mingo. He'll finally take it here in 3 and 4, but Mingo, a little bit of a turn through the center, but not enough to hold the position off of turn 4.
Still battling. Turzak will make another dive to the inside, looking on a Wiseman there for 5th. Turzak's had a lot of speed. He pitted for tires. Starting to get back up to the field here. He's 1.8 back of the leaders. We know he's really good on the long run. Might be able to make something happen here over the course of these next 33 laps.
I just don't know if 33 laps is enough to make up 1.8 seconds, especially with traffic still in front of you. We saw you earlier that Crowe and Smith, when they were out front at the beginning of this race on a 30-lap run, Kyle Turzak was able to make up 7/10. Kyle Weissman around.
That looked like it might have been off the nose of Jake Grout, who is around as well.
That's exactly what Turzak wanted. And that is the last thing that Justin Crowe wanted to see on old tires.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that plays right into the 115's hands, because I don't think he would have made up that time if we had have stayed green. This is Jake Grout and Weissman there. Grout dives to the inside and just spins the 74 around.
Yeah, you saw it on the drivertees.com replay there. Grout just in a little too deep. Got into him. Anthony Yankello kind of getting caught there. They blockaded the track. Yankello got on the scene late. Nowhere to go, but I don't think he made any contact there. He should still be okay.
Yeah, really slid those tires. We saw Yankello trying to avoid there. Looking off the hood camera of the 49 car, Jake Grout, yeah, just tries to send it here to the inside. Yeah, I'm in slight contact. That tells you how on edge these cars are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen a couple times this season, just the smallest amount of contact in these cars can wreck 2 or 3 or even 4 of them.
Yeah, that'll be Jake Grout will be given the EOL there for that incident. Meanwhile, we have cars on pit road. This is John Leday, I guess, making his 5th pit stop. But more importantly, Justin Crowe did come down pit road, as well as Cody Dempster and Jace Hale. They all just made a pit stop, I think, as well as Ty Dennis. So Justin Crowe is relegated to pit road here on lap 71. So this is going to put him very much near the back of the field. He's going to be starting, looks like 10th. And that's not what you wanted to see. If you're Justin Crowe, you wanted that to run green.
No, everybody has made a pit stop now, so cycling around to the lead of this race is going to be Christian Peterson running off in first. Kyle Turzak got back up there. He'll restart second. Kyle Adams will roll off third. Deegan Smith in fourth.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see this about what does Christian Peterson, can he defend off of Turzak? We just talked about Christian's speed, and I'm really excited to see what he can bring here for the 115 of Turzak, because I think he has the speed here today to be able to beat him.
And by the way, Jake Grout there claimed the caution. That is his second of the race, and as such, he will receive a drive-through penalty when we get back going green here.
Yeah, Grout, second incident of the night. Not something that you want to see. Definitely wants to keep it clean. You don't want to get to 3, because strike 3, you're out. So he definitely doesn't want that here today. He's relegated back to 15th, and when we go green, he'll fall behind in 16th behind Ty Dennis. So again, Christian Peterson will line up and he'll choose the inside. That'll relegate Kyle Turzak there to the outside. Then Deegan Smith, Kyle Adams, Matt Mingo, Bradley Stefane up here. Look how this worked out for Stefane. He's up in 6th.
Yeah, I was going to say Matt Mingo, Bradley Stefane, and Anthony Yankello all played the pitch strategy really well. They were running outside the top 10 for most of this race. They've got 5th through 7th here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they can have. But again, these two up front, some of the fastest today, and then Deegan Smith back there as well as Kyle Adams. Green flag back out here to complete lap 73 into lap 4. Yellow's already out.
Well, Peterson got a great jump, but he won't get to use it because we've got Yankello around further back. Yankello was having some issues on our timing tower. It was, yes, Yankello and Dennis.
Oh, man, we saw that Anthony had gotten up to the top half of the field there, was in great position to have a good running there. Let's see what happened here. He's in row number 4, 79 car on the inside. We get the green flag. Oh, it looked like Matt Mingo had a stack up.
Yeah, checked up, and whoever was behind him on the restart there just got into the rear end. Kind of domino effect. No one had anywhere to go. Contact between all 3 cars.
That had to be the 12 car missing a shift. That's the only thing I can really imagine there. Yeah. Sylvia behind Yankello had no idea that they were checking up. Nothing he could have done.
Yeah, we can see on the drivertees.com replay, that's Jake Sylvia back there behind him. Just making contact with the rear end of that car, spinning him around on the checkup. Definitely looks like that 12 might have just missed an upshift because he didn't get going at all.
Man, I know if you're Yankello, you are extremely frustrated right now because you said it, Sky. They had played that pit strategy extremely well and to their advantage. He was starting 7th on the inside, looking for a top 10 out of the day. We'll take another look here. This is Matt Mingo, and we're going to listen along. You're going to be able to hear him over-rev this car and miss the shift. Yeah, right there, and he just gets into the back. Yankello is into his rear. He saw his hands moving there to try to aggressively catch his car because, again, that contact from the back came from him missing the shift. So that'll move our lineup just a little bit, Sky.
Just no luck for Yankello this season. I feel like pretty much every race we've ran, he's finally gotten some luck to go his way, gotten up front, and then something like that happens and just completely takes him out of contention.
Yeah, and as frustrating as it is, Matt Mingo will be sent to the rear. He caused that caution. He will get the EOL. So he receives that, and that's Mingo all the way back from what would be a 6th starting spot on the restart to now 16th.
Beneficiary for this is going to be those cars we've already pit. Bro up to 8th, Dempster to 9th, Sylvia to 7th. They're going to look to make something happen here on this restart.
Yeah, and speaking of Mingo again real quick, that is his 2nd cause caution of the day, so he will receive a drive-through just like Grout did. So, Peterson back on the inside, Terzak still on his outside. The top 4 remain the same. Then behind them, that's Weissman and Bradley Stefane. Again, we've got just over 21 laps to go here in this feature race. Christian Peterson, not as good as a jump as he had last time. Send it down to the inside of 1. Terzak still has a nose on the outside.
Terzak will pull into line behind, but he's still got Deegan Smith up the inside of that 15 car, trying to make something happen. Both of these cars, the number 15, Terzak, you can see him on the scoring tower in the 115. He's gotten away from Deegan Smith behind, right on the bumper of Christian Peterson, and with 20 to go, it is go time for these drivers.
Man, he is making it known to Peterson that he is there. Meanwhile, the top 3 have single filed out. Michael Weissman now to the inside here of Kyle Adams in the 24. They fight side by side off of turn number 4, completing lap 80 here into lap 81. Again, top 3, single file, all less than a 1/10 of a second apart.
They're trying to go 3 wide further back. Cody Dempster was looking to send it up the inside to Stefane. Backed out at the last second, but he almost took it 3 wide with Stefane and Sylvia for 7th. He's hungry to get some positions, and if neither of these cars break the stalemate soon, he might do something a little drastic.
Yeah, he might, absolutely. You don't want to see that there again. These cars up front absolutely battling here for the lead. There's no time for saving anymore. Like you said, Sky, it is go time. 34 of Jared Schell on that restart was warned for a possible cone violation. That will be reviewed in the post-race. Nothing he can do about it now. But Christian Peterson, how can he continue to defend here from the ever-imposing 115 of Kyle Terzak?
I think all you really can do is just make sure you're getting down to the inside, make sure you're getting good runs off the corners. Do not let Terzak stick his nose up the inside of your car, which he's gonna do right here on Christian Peterson. They'll go side by side for the lead on lap 84.
Man, Peterson trying to carry as much speed on exit there, but there's just not enough. Terzak sends it all the way to the bottom here in turn 1. Peterson trying to fight back on the outside. He scuffs the outside wall, side by side into 3. Terzak not giving up, has the dominant line on the inside. But again, Peterson able to carry so much momentum out of the corner.
Terzak is really diving it in all the way. He's sending Peterson all the way to the top off these corners. And now looking behind this battle as Terzak fights to get clear. Deegan Smith is going to join the fight. He's now behind Terzak on this inside lane, trying to push to the inside of the 171 of Christian Peterson. He's got another good exit off the corner. Peterson won't go away just yet.
That 171 still surviving there on the outside, but now he'll fall. Kyle Terzak, new leader here today. The 115 car looking for the 3rd win. Deegan Smith slides into 2nd. Oh, Peterson gives him the bumper. That allows Crow to go to the outside. Crow up from 10th here.
You saw Peterson just backed it out into the corner. He figured dropping back to 3rd was worth it if he could get on the inside line. He tried to move Deegan Smith out of the way. It doesn't work, and the caution is out further back.
Oh my gosh, John Leday, Jared Schell. It looks like day-ending damage for the 34 car. I can already see the smoke.
John Leday was in the air when we got to him. We're going to take a look at the drivertees.com instant replay. This was around 12th place back here between these two cars, John Leday and Jared Schell. We'll see how this develops coming out of 2 and onto the back straightaway. Leday is trailing the 34 and, yeah, just gets into the side of him. Both cars hard into the inside wall. Leday is on his side.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Leday calls this one day done as well. You can see here that Leday enters higher in turn 1, gets a great run out of the corner, and I think the 34 was loose there. That's why he didn't bring it all the way back to the wall, Scott.
I think Leday was definitely expecting Schell to be a little closer to that wall off the corner. He was looked like he was kind of running about a lane off. Yeah, he got loose there. Ended up about a lane off the wall trying to catch his car. Leday didn't expect it. Both cars likely out of the race with major damage.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, that one is a real tough one there. The 34 car gets loose, wasn't able to bring the car all the way to the outside. Meanwhile, behind him, Leday in the 22, thinking he's going to go to the wall, tries to get all he can on exit and make contact, and both of them it was almost the exact same thing that happened with them hitting the inside wall.
Yeah, and with just about 9 laps to go in this race here, Kyle Terzak has gotten himself back to the lead at the perfect time. Deegan Smith second, Christian Peterson third, Justin Crowe fourth, Wiseman fifth. They're all going to be going at it with just a couple laps left.
Yeah, Deegan Smith, one of those drivers that we talked about when we talked about the points, currently sitting in 13th, and we know Deegan Smith, a 2-time winner from season 1 here in the Misfit Touring Series. We know that he is a driver that can absolutely get it done. He's going to be starting second here. Does he have anything to give for Terzak?
We're going to find out. He hasn't been able to get to the lead yet this race, but he did a really good job of staying even with that 115 car. And sometimes all it takes is just one really well-timed move to get the spot. Sometimes you don't need to lead the first 99 laps if you can lead the 100th one.
That's absolutely right. Deegan Smith looking here to lead the last lap. When we get the green flag, we're going to have just over 7 laps to go. Kyle Terzak has just taken the lead away from who it was, Christian Peterson. And again, Terzak, we've said it a lot and we'll say it again, looking for his 3rd win in 4 races. Drivers have chosen Terzak to the bottom. And look at that. The 15 car of Deegan Smith chooses the inside as well. That puts him back on the 2nd row and allows Christian Peterson back to the front row, but this time on the outside. Also, 86 car Justin Crowe up from 10 positions from the start.
We've seen a couple cars make the outside work on the restarts, most notably that car behind him, Justin Crowe, on the race start. Pace car is in, and as these drivers head out of turn 4, we're going to get back underway with 7 to go. Terzak, Peterson, green flag is out.
Yeah, Terzak, absolutely great start there from the inside. Peterson trying to work the outside, but the 15 car of Deegan Smith is there. Contact off the exit of turn 2. Now into turn 3. They're side by side, 3 cars back.
I think if Smith wants to make that move on Peterson, he needs to dispose of, or if he wants to make that move on Terzak, he needs to dispose of Peterson very quickly, because the longer these cars are side by side, the more Terzak is getting away. 5 to go. He might have it on the inside of Peterson this time. No, another great run on the outside for the 171 keeps him there in 3rd.
You make a great point. Deegan Smith has to get clear here of the 171. Terzak almost clear to a half a second lead. There might not be enough time here for Smith to get back to him. Smith finally clear of the 171. No, not quite yet. The 171 still able to carry so much speed on exit. Here we are, 4 laps to go in this race. Kyle Terzak out to half a second lead. Deegan Smith right behind. Then Christian Peterson, Justin Crowe, and Michael Weissman round out your top 5. But Michael Weissman, Jake Sylvia absolutely dooring it into turn 3.
And while they're doing that, Sylvia's in the fence. While they're doing that, Peterson and Crowe are making big moves on each other for P3. Crowe stuck the nose up the inside, but he hasn't been able to get there yet. Peterson's done a really nice job of defending on the outside, and he holds the spot for now. Meanwhile, for points, Kyle Adams makes a big send up the inside. A Wiseman back there for 5th.
Adams looking for a top 5. He's now going to dive down to the inside here of Michael Weissman looking for a top 5. He's going to absolutely throw the move here. Cody Dempster inside of Jake Sylvia now. It's a hassle here in the mid-pack. Meanwhile, up front, nose to tail here, 2nd through 4th, but Kyle Terzak takes the white flag here, 1 to go. Cody Dempster almost 3 wide here into 1. That's Kyle Adams around. The white flag is already out. No caution yet. We're going to race it to the end. Kyle Terzak, 115. He's won 2 out of the 3 races. He's going to win 3 out of the 4. That's 3 wins for Terzak.
He gets another one at Myrtle Beach. I mentioned a little earlier, Dempster looked like he was willing to do whatever it takes, and we're wrecking after the line. Yankello's around with Sylvia. I mentioned Dempster might want to do whatever it takes, and you saw him go 3 wide there on the last lap to try to get that done.
Yeah, he tried to take it 3 wide there. We're going to have to break down here what happened. This was coming to the white flag. This is the 24 car, Kyle Adams on the inside of the 74 of Michael Weissman. And these cars, like this is coming to the white flag now. Here through 3 and 4. 24 car of Adams is where we're going to see what would have been the caution. We see the incident. We're here with the DriverTees.com replay. And again, that's Adams. Yeah, like you said, that was Dempster throwing it 3 wide, the 224 cars, and there just was not enough room, Sky.
No, Jake Sylvia made it out of that fairly intact. Little bit of contact there on both ends of the race car. Still manages to bring it home 7th, 1 spot behind Dempster in 6th, pending any post-race review on that.
Definitely not the finishing day that the one car Jake Sylvia wanted to see. Obviously, he wanted to see a top 5 and even a win. But Kyle Turzak is your winner today. He led 16 laps. His fastest was an 18.8. He started from the 5th position, but he was the fastest in qualifying. That's 3 wins on the season out of 4 races. That's extremely impressive, Sky.
Yeah, he had a really good run there. Was up front when it mattered the most. Played the strategy right. And he got it done. He gets to park it in victory lane.
Obviously, the driver of the day. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get back with our results here from Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back here at Myrtle Beach Speedway for the post-race. We're going to give you the results from the day from this awesome race, 100-lap feature race, race 4 in the Misfit Touring Series. Kyle Turzak, 3rd win of the season already in that 115 car. Deegan Smith comes home 2nd, 1st podium of the season. Christian Peterson had a great fight for all day long, comes up 3rd in that 171. Justin Crowe led so many laps today, but wasn't able to finish up top of the standings. He's in 4th. In 5th, the 74 of Michael Weissman comes home there. In 6th, we'll have the 2024 of Cody Dempster. Jake Sylvia, that one car, comes home 7th. Anthony Yankello, he got booted out there on one of those last lap cautions, was able to make it up into the top 10. Bradley Stefane, fast car earlier, involved in an incident with Leday. He comes home 9th. And Jay Grout, that 49 car involved in a few incidents as well, comes home 10th.
John Leday is going to bring it home 11th today, while our pole sitter, Jace Hale, only finishes 12th. Matt Mingo, 13th. Kyle Adams in 14th. Kai Dennis, 15th and last car in the field tonight. Jared Shell will finish in 16th.
Well, that's your results. We're going to get our interviews here, as we always love to do. And we're going to get Kyle Turzak in here in that 115 car. Kyle, that's 3 wins on the season already out of 4 races. Tell me how it feels.
It was great. Coming in this race, I don't have a lot of practice because the modified race took so long at New Hampshire before that. And I knew that we were pretty good because I love this track. It's probably one of the best tracks for me in the late model. So I just knew how to execute my strategy right, which I did right. Pitting out lap 45 because I knew we were gonna get some type of yellow and everybody would go in and then the tires were even out there. So that's what I did. And set up Christian right there. He had a ton of gear in it, so I gained on him on entry. So I just set him up and I got a run one time and I had to take it and it worked out.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that pass from you and Peterson. It was a great battle. I've been we've been watching Peterson up here in the booth, and I think he's one of those drivers that has done really well so far in these first 4 races. Talk to me from your perspective, a little bit like you just did, but what you were thinking in your head about making that pass.
Just see where he was weak and set him up from there. Like I said, he had a lot of gear in it, and you could tell because he got off the corner really well. But as soon as halfway down the straightaway, he died out, and I was arcing it out pretty good, so I off 4 so I can get that run. And one time I did, I had to lift out because I just knew it was too late. But on the back stretch right there, I had a killer run, and I had to take it, which it worked out. Hit the curb a couple times and almost bounced into him, but the car definitely turned on the bottom, so we got it done.
Yeah, it's so easy to get on those curves. They are down in 1 and 2. I want to talk about a moment back from the middle of the race. It was after you pitted. You pitted and you were back in 10th. You had such a fast car, not even on the long run. You just had a fast car in general today, like you normally do. But talk to me about working through the field here at a track like Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, you just got to know where to pass, especially here, because the top and bottom are definitely good, and you just got to know how to pass people on both. When we came here for SAR for the 200 lap Myrtle Beach 400, I tested a lot, and I realized where I had to be on the top and bottom of the pass, and I used that to my advantage here tonight, and I found what worked for me. And coming up for the field, it's very hard. It's very difficult to do here, but I got it right down where I needed to be, and I made sure that every pass was nice and clean, and that worked out.
Yeah, you kept it extremely clean here today, allowed you to make it up front and grab this 3rd win of the season. Before I let you go, Kyle, anyone you'd like to thank?
I want to thank Kyle Adams for putting this on. I want to thank you guys for the broadcast. I want to thank RKM Auto Shop, Curse Sim Shots, Terzak Racing, and everybody watching back at home.
Well, congratulations, Kyle. That's a 3rd win. That's epic.
Yeah, thank you. I won this in the Gobbler, so 2 for 2 this weekend. So I feel pretty good and got $65 in a points paying race.
There we go. Nothing better. We'll see you back next week.
Thank you.
That was Kyle Terzak in the 115. Came home with the win. Sky Shrek is caught up with Deegan Smith, who was 2nd.
Yeah, you got a copy, Deegan?
Yep.
You pit a little later than some cars, came down about halfway through the race, went to the back of the field. Talk to us about surviving some of the chaos that occurred after that and making your way back up to 2nd.
I just took my time. I was as patient as I could be, let the cars sort themselves out in front of me, and start passing when I needed to.
All right, and then talk to us about that last restart there. Caution came out with about 9 to go. You took the inside on the restart to try to get the move on Terzak. Walk us through what was going through your mind there.
I knew that if me and Terzak could get a good restart, I could get to the I could keep him on the outside. So I just got the best possible restart that I could so I could keep him on the outside without making too much contact with him, but also trying to keep him behind me.
All right, and then talk to us about that battle with Peterson at the end of the race there. You two were really going at it, trying to get 2nd.
Yeah, I was super tight. I cranked my brake bias all the way down to 46%. That's how tight I was. But I don't know. I just couldn't get around him for the first few laps. I finally started to figure it out that if I used a little more brake, that I got it to rotate a little bit better.
All right, do you have anyone you want to thank on the broadcast tonight?
RKM Setup Shop. Thanks to Ryan Kuhn for the setups tonight and Victory Fuel.
All right, congrats on 2nd place, Deegan Smith.
Thank you.
And while we were talking to him, Scott has caught back up with our 3rd place finisher, Christian Peterson.
Yeah, Christian Peterson in the 171 tonight. Had a great bout here tonight. Christian, you weren't able to keep it up front. Talk to me about those last few laps battling side by side with Terzak.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I knew he was going to get me eventually. We missed on the gear and the setup, and he was definitely running me over going into turn 1. So he gave me a break there a few times, and I tried to hold him off, but it was just a matter of time before he got to my inside. I tried to hold him off on the outside, but I knew it was going to be tough.
Yeah, us guys in the booth have been watching you all throughout these races here for the season 2 of the Misfit Touring Series, and we've been seeing that you've had some great pace, ran into some problems at Nashville Fairgrounds getting wrecked, but you were running up front up there. When's the win coming? Because we think we know you have the speed. We've seen it. What track do you think that you're going to find the best speed at?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the schedule. Honestly, didn't have the showing we wanted at Five Flags last week. It was a little tight. Nashville was good. Nashville was definitely really good. Wish we could have got more cautions, and then I just messed up when I needed to pit, and everybody else pit, and I got myself behind the 8 ball. But yeah, it's coming. We just got to work on the setup a little more. This was kind of just to throw together. It was literally a Nashville setup with a couple tweaks and a gear change. Like I said, we missed on the gear. So, but shout out to the guys that worked on the setup last night for a few hours, and yeah.
Yeah, for having thrown it together, you performed really well here tonight. Third place finish moves you in the standings. You're going to do very well so far in the points. Before I let you go, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, just the guys at Skyline, Yankello, Lide, and Griffin helped work on the setup last night a little bit. Got to get better for the next one, but we'll give her our best.
Well, congratulations, Christian, on a third place tonight. We hope to see you back with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for putting on the show.
Absolutely. Well, that was third place, Christian Peterson, and that's going to round out tonight here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. And we're going to get on to our next race. That's going to be at Irwindale. Sky, it's the only racetrack we go to twice. That's because technically this is 2 racetracks into one. Next weekend, we're going to run the Irwindale Inner, which is the short side of the track. Talk to me about what you're expecting next week and what we can expect of Irwindale Inner.
I mean, that inner racetrack, it's so short. It's only about a third of a mile. There is not a lot of banking. It's really tight. I think if there's one track on the schedule where we're going to see a lot of chaos, it's going to be Irwindale Inner. It is one of the tightest tracks on iRacing, maybe even the tightest track on iRacing, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, race control is going to absolutely have to talk to these drivers before to make sure that we're going to keep it mostly caution free, because you're always going to have a little, no matter where you go. But I'm excited for some great racing there next week, and we're going to get to it all then. Run me through your thoughts on tonight's Sky here from Myrtle Beach.
A lot of fun. It was pretty clean. Had a lot of good racing up at the front of the field and throughout the mid-pack as well. I mean, there were cars constantly trying to send it 2. At the end, we even saw 3 wide back there throughout 4th on back. Really good racing throughout the field. Great race, another great race here in the Misfit Touring Series. It just delivers every week.
Yeah, we love it to see from these guys. Like you said, delivers every week. And we're going to see that continue on here to race 5. From Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia at Misfit Productions, for Bradley Cooper at V-Speed, for DJ Lyon in production, and for my colleague in the booth, Sky Shrek, my name is Scott Shive, and we'll see you next week at the Irwindale Inner for all the way out in California.
We got the wheels that stand so bold, roads of fire, never cold. Chasing glory, feel the rush. This Misfit crew you can't hush. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder in the storm. Watch us whirl. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combined. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a roaring coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Burn the rubber, feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Racers bow to Misfits call with a giant standing tall. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit right. Engines racing leads the worker, speeding past you in our plunder. thunder, feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder and the storm, watch us whirls. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combine. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a roaring coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Bundle up or feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Adrenaline and gas combine. In this madness we all shine. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track.